Welcome to Let's Play Combat Mission Barbarossa Berlin. This game is yet another combat mission game. I wanted to complete the trifecta. And yeah, I mean that music was basically very evocative of the craziness that went on. I think it was really well chosen. In fact, I think I chose this music for one of the episodes for Panzer General 2 in the Eastern Front. Kind of makes sense to present this Russian music. I think it's called Night at the Bald Mountain. Very bombastic, heralding of some bad things about to happen, and you know, a lot of bad things happened in the Eastern Front. Yeah, so this is Barbarossa Berlin. I don't know whether I mentioned it, but this is Barbarossa itself is the operation name, I guess, that started off, that kick-started the German drive to Moscow before winter, and Berlin is, I think, 4 years later, or 3 years later, everything went more or less kaput for them. And this is the This basically is the Eastern Front combat mission game. The first one, Be an Overlord, which began the whole formula, covers a D-Day, more or less, with Americans blazing through Western Europe and the Germans counterattacking in Battle of the Bulge, Liberation of France, and all these different Western Front battles that went on. Very iconic battles too. The Africa Corps is basically Rommel and his Africa Corps, its namesake, going through Northern Africa and meeting some resistance from the British, and meeting early successes, of course, before being stopped at Egypt. And also the Americans in their first foray into the battle in Algeria or Morocco, and yeah, there's some interesting American presence there. And also, since it covers the Mediterranean conflict, Italy is included. If you want to visit like valleys and mountainous regions of Italy, it is definitely well portrayed there. It's more expensive, I think, in terms of the size that are involved. There are a lot of different, sizes involved there. I think some Eastern European factions too. Here, this is basically the Eastern Front in of itself. Nobody else is involved. I think Americans had some type of, they had a bit of a toehold in the conflict in the East, but then I guess the developer here makes a specific point of not including the American side at all. So this is basically between the Axis and the Russians. Russians basically because, I mean, they're the allies, but among the allies factions, only the Russians are involved here. I mean, Russians of different stripes. This is definitely Red Army, but I don't know what this is. Black background, maybe it's a bit different, I don't know, a bit different insignia for some naval forces or air forces or something. And on the other side, there you can see some Italians and Hungarians here involved in invading Russia, and also some Volkssturm. Yeah, so basically the well-marked SS. What is this? Romanians. Yeah, Romanians also figures they're heavily in Eastern Front as they help the Germans. Yeah, so that's it. Oh, finish. Yeah, some solitary Finnish representation in the battles. So I mean, this is basically Eastern Front through and through, as the title implies, from the early push of the Germans into Russia before everything kind of turned on its head in the famous battles, maybe involving Stalingrad and Kursk, and then retreat back into Berlin. So do we have some battles here? Yeah, a lot of battles and operations here. Yeah, a lot of different operations offering some huge battles. And incidentally, this is not the official start screen, as you can see. Features some, I think that's Mark 3 or Mark 4. I think it's Mark 3, or I'm not so sure. Anyways, yeah, this is actually modded, and I went down the rabbit hole of modding this game and had to scale back a bit after just trying too hard to modify everything about this game. Try to stay true to, I mean, gameplay wise, I think this is rather more or less original, just the graphical elements are changed. It does give the game a lot of potential, although game kind of remains that 15-year-old kind of outmoded game, surpassed later on by the Combat Mission 2 series games. But still, a lot of different options. You can change the vehicles to be winterized and has like more lived in or more of a battle worn feel to it. So I mean, I try to modify the vehicles, not really that specifically, but to give them more details. Yeah, I think you might enjoy it as more details are present in the terrain and also the vehicles. So yeah, I guess I just go in and then try something short here. Small island. Okay, so maybe 15 turns in small map is probably to just to kick off this LP series. And I think I just not go too deep into the game, just time permitting, because I'm doing another LP of Jagged Alliance 2, and that is a really big game in of itself. So I just want to kind of dip my toes here, because this game is also a rather deep game. Yeah, I'm gonna try something that is historical and also Axis attack, and this seems to be pretty cool. I can't really pronounce what this is. Something about yeah, something really important is happening, because this is really long German word. Maybe it is starting out the Barbarossa operation in of itself. AG North Axis attack. Okay, so let's try that. So play some Axis. 15 plus turns, and this is first game, I guess. I also seen this in Africa Core, where the turns itself is not the end, be all and end all. It can extend into overtime, and it wasn't available in Beyond Overlord, but I guess this game introduces it. I think Barbarossa to Berlin is a game where a lot of these new improvements to the gameplay is introduced, and I think from Barbarossa to Africa Core, there may have been some improvement, but they're more minor. So background. German infantry is following the armored spearheads of Barbarossa, broadening the initial breakthrough. Small reconnaissance parties are sent out to establish flank security. And German against AI and no modification. Okay, so this is just a small battle on the side of the main spearhead of the German advance. June 28, 1941. Lithuanian, so it's not even Russian. Yeah, I guess this is just early beginnings of the war. Axis, one player, and this is all modded. It's very impressive how they modded almost every aspect of the game, and I think UI is very important aspect that improves a lot in terms of readability and the usability. Operation briefing. Our panzers clearly broke through the Soviet lines and are on their way to Leningrad. Significant Soviet forces have been brushed aside but not destroyed. It is important to secure the flanks of our main axis of advance. No pun intended. Most of the Russians encountered recently are weakened and demoralized. About a mile back, you are able to drive off what may have been an observation post without suffering losses. Mission: establish if the enemy is present in the villages along the northern flank of the main axis of the 1 Panzer Regiment and Panzer Division. Okay, so we are trying to recon and route any of the weakened forces along the flank of the main division here, regiment. Expect the next village to be defended. The quality of Soviet forces encountered so far is low, but who knows what we find in the villages. You have some forces here, 2 Panzer. Okay, so I guess this is the squadrons. Yeah. And some artillery guys. Interesting. Some reserves also? Yeah, okay. Oh, no reinforcement. Yeah, retiring report. Alright, so no reinforcement, just a small detachment. I don't think I even have a tank. Wow, look at that. I just don't know how they pronounce all these things. What is that? Hey, all this storm, gas shoot, some battery, so must be some kind of artillery guy. My goodness, 185mm? Can't be right. Anyways, yeah, so we have some mortars and we have some vehicles, I think, some troop carriers and some mortar, I think. Okay, so let's go. And as you will see that this game, yeah, I don't really require this game to be modified in any way to... Oh, look at that. Yeah, there is that problem here. Yeah, so I have to scale back some of the vehicles modding because of some of these things happened. I'll come back and then see what is wrong with this Stug III. Alright, sorry about this, folks. Should have found this out before. So, as you can see, each back, the Stug is actually colored and has the proper graphical tile set. As you can see, this is actually a really nice looking tank. It was all white for some reason. Had to go back and make a quick change. Everything's alright, so ready to go. And as you can see, I wasn't able to solve the problem with the black flag here, but if you go there, it's going to be painted with the proper German flag basically. And yeah, mod basically introduces all the good stuff, as you can see. I don't know how the original might look like. I didn't really try with everything uninstalled. I should save all the original tile sets. Anyways. But that's what it is, and hope you actually able to see what is going on. It's kind of camouflaged in this dark and brooding environment. Yeah, and I think this is our target, as you can see by the flag, and there will be some Soviets hiding in. I'm sure that there will be some anti-tank weapons too. I don't know whether Soviets had anti-tank weapons aside from the rifles, but yeah, maybe they have some 5-inch artillery guns too, so yeah, need to be careful. And this thing is... Alright, so this is not your ordinary... Oh, actually this is armored car, not a carrier. Okay. And this is the gun. I wonder if I can actually move it. I can. And line of sight is pretty poor, so maybe I like to move it around here. Or near the road, that is. Let's see if I can move it near the road. Rotate here, and I think I can probably cover everything here. But it might come under fire pretty quickly because he's a guy who is going to be exposed. I think this is better. Yeah, just opening up the road for the tanks to do their job, and same goes for our infantry. So let's rotate. So the control seems to be pretty similar, more or less, to the last games. And this is actually, yeah, alright, might work. I think I might go inside this building first for the machine gun guys. And checking out the terrain. Oops, that's a bit too large. Let's see. Alright, that is a sweet medium. So the terrain is also indicated by the tile colors. So if it's light, then it is basically higher in altitude, and if it gets darker, conversely, then it is low. So we are going into a bit of a dipping section of the road before going back up, which, I don't know, it sets up us really nicely for any kind of counterattack or ambushes that the Russians might be preparing against us. Okay, so let's move all these guys, rotate, and this is the platoon HQ. Gun is there, mortar. Right, so platoon HQ might be the spotter, more or less. And this is another rifle. Veteran, okay. One of the squadron has a heavy machine gun and everything. Pretty cool. This guy might try to go outside to the edge of the wood and then have a look-see over here. Anything in the open field. And as you can see, there's some details now because of the mod. Because this is all flat before, and I kind of made a joke about whether this was all like after the harvest, but now you can see the bit of detail here where you can definitely see the spots where the soldier could be hiding in prone position. So it definitely helps to visualize. And performance wise, I really didn't find anything slowed down, and I think the recent Windows update definitely helped in increasing the performance further. Kind of funny to be discussing about the performance in like 15-year-old game, but I mean, it's sometimes chugged, especially in the African core, and this game so far has been pretty exemplary. I'm pretty happy about it. Okay, and you can see that there's a big oh, there's actually fence here, wire fence, and this is where the tanks cannot really cross. This is the Eastern style, I think. Yeah, Orthodox Church. Okay, that's kind of interesting. So I might have to take. I mean, the tanks really have to maybe see what is on the main road here, but can actually fire across the ruins here. That's pretty good. Maybe I should take detour. Let's just see. I should take this side. Could be interesting. Yeah, because of the cover that I can use here in this building, using the machine gun that is, I might be able to help our guys to go across the field and then around this, basically. So I think this is better course of action for the infantry as well. But then I think these guys will travel more or less sneak around toward the trees, the edge of the forest, or edge of the wood, and while these guys, okay, oops, alright, sorry about that. Right, these guys will have a look-see across the road and then go into the building. Okay, let's just do a bit more let's run. Move forward here, and then rotate forward there. Yeah, I think that's good enough. The machine gun guy is going to have a look also. Follow this guy. Go to the scattered trees and rotate here. And the tanks, well, I mean, this gun is going to have a look first. This is only 15 runs, so you might have to kind of hurry up. This is the spotter, so let's advance a bit. Yeah, let's go through the wood. In the third game, if I use a sneak command, it not only really slowed down the progress, but also made people really tired. Very tired. And sneak actually, forced them to crawl on the ground, so I think some of these things might not really work. Yeah, so I think I might have to just give him the move command or contact command, maybe. Yeah, this might be a bit better. Same goes for these guys, contact. And I'm going to see what I can do here. Contact, and also with the contact trees. I think there may be some Russians here and here, of course. And mortar might have to, yeah, mortar is going to just stay behind and then allow the spotters to get the reconnaissance going first. Tank? Yeah, we just wait for the first turn. Yeah, okay, so nobody is actually present or identified. Okay, so they start moving, running. Need to be worried about the Soviet snipers. Surely that their notoriety precedes them. Okay, so far not much happening. And you're getting this building. I wonder what the tutorial mission for this game is. Probably one of the first ones on the battle list. Oh, so they move pretty fast. I don't see anybody here. I probably check the line of sight before moving further. But the first turn has been pretty quiet. Pretty cool. Alright, let's check the line of sight. And I can see, yeah, I can see pretty well on the right side. And also some left side too, that's pretty good. So definitely we'll get the machine gun guy here set up. And I think this is going to be easier if I do this. And I'm also afraid of the Soviet guys trying to ambush us. So we also move to contact. Everybody move up. And you also move up here. Yeah, all the mortars going to support us on the left side as these guys will move, I guess, toward this side as well. So initially I thought that everybody has to move around here, but then I think I could wing it maybe and try to use the main road. And there's some other guys here. Yeah, okay, so you also move to contact and reveal some enemies for us if possible. They might be all hiding, but we have a pretty good arc, especially on the right side, so it might be even possible for the tank to advance toward this side as well, because of course he has to make it might break down or something, I'm not so sure, but I'm sure that the German engineering beginning of the war, beginning of Barbarossa, was actually rather high quality, tested in France. So I might be able to use this and recover some rough terrain. And this thing is going to support the infantry wherever it needs to be. Okay. I do love the interface. I do really love how they, made everything pop out. And as you can see, I haven't really gone through the details here, but they're basically the same thing. If you've seen my Africa Corps LP, it's reflected here. 2 rifle grenade, 1 grenade bundle. I'm afraid that using this or indication of this might point to some armor present in this map, in this small map. And there's also what is this? That's actually a potato masher. Okay, so yeah, another grenade, another type of grenade. Alright, let's go. And maybe I should move this guy. Hunt, perhaps? Just move a bit. I'm sure that the Russians will make themselves known as we go through the edge of the wooded area. Let's hurry up, guys. This guy's moving. This guy's actually staying. I should have moved him. Yeah, I don't see anybody. Strange. I'm sure the Russians will also have some artilleries. And it seems that since I entered here, the maximum amount of occupants available for this area has been exceeded, so this guy has to come out. It's kind of unfortunate, but we expected. Alright, let's go then. I think I can probably get them to move pretty quickly here. Join them as I move this guy here across, maybe to contact, and this guy we have to move here to contact and watch over here as we continue on. This guy I will okay, so I guess I can use the wall here, fence. Yeah, let's see if I can make use of the little fence. It's open ground, so let's just move here first. And yeah, not really seeing anybody. Okay. Maybe I should start with the... Yeah, let's guess first. Let's guess. Because it's a really close area, so I can probably try to. We have 60 ammo, so it's gonna take around a couple of turns. I can probably get this guy to target this area to, cover our advance a bit. think I'm sure that there will be some Russians here, so let's get them to form the guns, so to speak, while we go and further move out. And you know, this guy has to hunt among the trees, and also this guy has to maybe get out. I think it's going to be well covered, more or less, until we reach this area. So let's get this guy also moving. No way I'm making a mistake once again, but everybody is moving. Okay, and this guy actually is able to see with naked eye some of these targets, but then now this guy is able to also spot for them, except for here. So I guess the Soviets like to get us encumbered here near the fence and then open up. That's probably what they're trying to do. So to counter that, I think we need to move in force and then maybe do a preliminary bombarding here, although it might be a waste. But it's only 15 turns, so I don't want to waste the potential that this guy could bring. This guy... Okay, let's check out the... all good, I think. Yeah, I think it's all good, more or less. So let's move him here in the scattered trees, and let's go. So has been some... oh yeah, as you can see, we identified some defender here to recognize that this is under Soviet control. And yeah, and I think we'll be finding some Russians hiding or trying to ambush us. Oh yeah, we see some. Where are they shooting from? Let's get closer. I don't see them. Oh, right here. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, tanks is able to support it, I think. We got hit pretty badly. Okay, can a tank target this? No? Okay, so there's one guy here, and this guy might be able to target, but I'm not so sure why he's not doing anything. And as you can see, there's also a machine gun in the building, and now we have to... oh, okay. Yeah, so half-track might be able to do some work, and also, can I target this? Yeah, we just have to identify exactly when they opened up. So let's get back. Units seem responsive, and I'm pretty okay with it. Pretty okay with how responsive they are. They're moving on the command pretty quickly, maybe because this is a veteran unit. They lost 2 soldiers here. And yeah, the tanks are moving on the left side, and this guy probably got hit first. Yeah, they got hit first, and then there's really no casualty here, but then this guy in the open ground was hit by this guy right away, and yeah, it was pretty accurate, and this guy wasn't able to see, unfortunately. And this tank, oh, lost its view. Okay, so it might have to revert and climb up the little hill in order to fire at this guy. And now this guy is in the middle, trying to fight this guy. Machine gun, I think this guy is able to handle it. Unless it's really high caliber gun, like 50 cal, then he's able to knock this guy out. Exactly, I don't know what kind of caliber or strength of the machine gun is, but I have some mortars and some area targets that I can change. Let's modify this. Let's target this guy here, area target. While the... okay, let's check here. Oh, okay, so... you know, we targeted right now, but let's reverse a bit and then climb up. And if you see the... you can see the height map getting a bit lighter, indicating into a hill, basically. Okay, so maybe you can target this guy as well, but you can't really see him. Target both of these guys. Maybe I can make them advance a bit under the guise of trees, that is. So let's advance a bit. And I think I just pour everything in. There's a mortar guy also here, yeah, here. And maybe I can also target this heavy building. Okay. Only 30 high explosive round. Maybe I should... Yeah, I think I saved this. The tanks might be able to do a better job initially. And how about this guy? Alright, yeah, this might be better too. 56 is definitely ample amount of gun. Let's see what happens here. Everybody will be pouring in, for sure. Alright, so yeah. Guy's being hit, and now this guy is actually targeting. Yeah, hopefully successful. He's being blocked by a heavy building. Okay, so it's infantry from the foxhole. This guy's exposed. Mortar is exposed also, but mortar I think is shooting back. I think. Mostly machine gun. Yeah, so there's a guy in the... This guy's actually retreating a bit, it's getting too hot. This guy's able to see now, the infantry, and the other guys supporting the machine gun. And then now 60 seconds has passed, so yeah, I might get this guy to shoot at the machine gun in the flank. Now this guy is keep the pressure up on the central area, and this guy is going to rout this guy first and then move. This guy, oh, there's some infantry here. Alright, so there was some infantry on the flank as well. That is interesting. This guy is able to shoot through the trees at this guy, so I'm happy with that arrangement. And this is, you know, I'm willing to bet that there might be some guys over in this house, so I think I changed. It's only 1 minute left. I changed my targeting here, 2 minutes left, but I'm sure that there will be some defenders here that I might have to preempt or strike against, since that these guys are under fire, and I think these guys will be able to handle the battle right now. Morale's still pretty high, so I think I might be able to pull this off. And I think the Russians also will have some mortars, so we have to keep moving, but right now it's a bit difficult right now. We might have to move next turn. And this guy is now kind of under duress. I have to probably move and then get this guy. And how about now? Can you still shoot? Yeah, still able to shoot. Okay, so this guy has been routed, more or less. Just have to knock this guy out. And I think the tank might be able to help next turn. Well, our guys will advance. So mortar is not doing anything right now, so I might have to give him a new target. Okay. Let's get some shots here. It's a really steep climb. Yeah, we're basically hounded by machine guns here and here, and there's some elements here, although we are kind of getting upper hand here by the ferocious shooting. This guy, I don't think this guy is actually effective in targeting this guy directly, only to, you know, weaken the structure of this poor church. It has been hit by an artillery fire already, but now I am targeting this a different side. I think it's going to come pretty soon, and maybe also drive these guys toward the... might be a mistake because it might drive the defenders to this side, which is closer to our target. But I try to push ahead and see, because all the targets are now engaged, and maybe I can force things a bit by getting these guys to this tank in order to advance. Now here, not be able to see anything. Can probably just keep shooting at this guy. Keep shooting at this guy and just knock it off before I can move with infantry. But infantry might be able to move a bit further up because they're kind of blocked before at least reaching here, as you can see by the line of sight. So I try to move a bit, just scatter trees here, and this guy also. This guy might be able to make it. I'm not so sure. Maybe they should run. Yeah, I think they might have to move around here while I keep the guns trained on these guys. Okay, so that is maybe knocked off, I think. Yeah, it's knocked out mortar. It was a mortar unit, interesting enough. And I guess I can advance once again. Target this guy now, hopefully. Yes, please. I think between these trees, I think we have a clear shot. This guy is going to area target that area, and the mortar here is going to target. Yeah, I think it might be 20 shots left, so I think it might be just better to cover this area. Yeah, that's more likely to allow us to move up. Now, later on, this guy has to move into this side and try to take this objective. And I think I moved my tank now, since it has been some time. So I hunt and move at the same time. I don't know whether it's going to be any effective, or the German tanks will be able to move and shoot at the same time. I think they can. Right, so we're going to close the distance a bit, and maybe target this area, this thing as well. I want my infantry to support it more. And this guy will also move, and then, yeah, and this guy might be able to also... Oh, sight block, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah, okay. Alright, let's go. Yeah, we're giving it to them, that's for sure, but... Yeah, they're not running. Oh, being targeted. Yeah, they're being targeted and being shot, I'm sure. Made it there safely, and this guy's moving. Never easy for the life of German soldier going up against the Russians, that's for sure. And this guy is available once again. Yeah, firing. And did you arrive? Okay. Now this guy is now moving around. The pressure's got to him. And the artillery is now bombarding this area. I'm sure there's some Russians there hanging around. And still the machine gun battle's happening. Didn't lose a man, but yeah, still keeping them at bay. And I had to track what happened here. They're kind of prone and resting, but they didn't move up, I think. No, they didn't move up at all. They're kind of pinned. Yeah. Very high-pitched battle, so even though the Germans thought that the Russians were defeated on these flanks, with ferocious fighting happening. These guys are moving up using the cover of the trees, and you know they're climbing up the hill. This guy was hit, but I was able to get to the ground just in time before sustaining any damage. This guy is in danger, getting hit. And artillery is shooting at this target. And now this half-check has to keep these guys at bay. And here, this guy is not shooting anymore because they're being pressured. Yeah, it's being pressured by a large number of high explosive shells. And that's basically it.